Hey, we are back with the Matt and Paul show. Another beautiful day. We're about to talk about a touchy subject, maybe. Why your CBD brand sucks. And there's just like a lot to talk about here. So, me and Paul are going to unravel that topic today because there's a lot of sucky brands out there, unfortunately. And hopefully, that's not yours that's watching, but we can go over this and make sure that you're on par.
Yeah, and this this is the subject that brings me the most hate, but it's a subject I love the most because I like the hate. Because our goal, as it always is to make brands better. And when we tell them why they suck, yeah, initially it's going to butt hurt them, piss them off, annoy them. But the goal is to help you improve. Now,
Yeah.
why does your brand suck? Let's not get into that straight away. Let's get some people on the call on the call
Yeah.
now. We're live. I'm not sure where we are in the group. Just going to try and find it so I can see. But if you're here, guys, please just say hi. Give us some questions. If you've got any questions to ask right now, ask them away. It could be about anything. Just while we're here, we are going to talk about why your brand sucks. But what I've definitely observed probably over 2,500 brands in the last 2 years, maybe. And again, this is going to be a made up percentage, but based on what I've seen, on average, around about 95% sucks
Yeah.
for multiple reasons.
Mine too. All I do is talk to CBD brands all day long, and I would say the same. 95% suck. Unfortunately,
Yeah, and
maybe not.
I'm going to say the only difference between where you are right now, there's many variables to it. The only difference between where you are right now and where the best brands in the market are is that they focus on the shit that works, and there's a complexity to that. But they focus on the shit that works, where the brands are not doing well because they focus on the shit that doesn't work and they keep focused on it. So it's like that definition of insanity: keep doing the same shit, expecting a different outcome. That's what the brands that are sucking right now are doing. It's quite a bit of a harsh word, suck. It's like everyone's trying to make money, right? Trying to do well, but yeah, if we say suck, it can piss someone off a bit better. So,
Well, yeah, there's so many brands that come to us and they're like, "Oh, we've been trying for months to do Facebook ads," and they're just wasting time on things that they don't even need to be doing at that particular point in the journey of the brand. And so that's one thing that makes brands suck is they don't know what to focus on. And so that's important as you're scaling up, and like you can't rush the brand foundation part, and that's where most people fail. Like I would say again, 95% of CBD brands are focused on the products alone and they forget about their audience and the message. Like Paul created the AMP, audience, message, product. So many of you are strictly focused on the product and you forget about the audience and message part. And then your brand doesn't have a personality, it doesn't appeal to anybody because you just have a product you're trying to sell. You don't stand for anything, you're just selling product and you're not talking to a specific audience. Like the way I would talk to a 25-year-old guy is completely different than the way I would talk to a 60-year-old woman. And so if you don't nail in your target audience and how you're going to solve their problems and understand them and then create messaging that appeals to that audience in the words that they use and the way they talk, then the products come after that. Where most CBD brands, they focus on the product first and they forget about the other parts, or they just touch on it briefly. But it's so important to nail all three of those things, and there's very few brands that we meet that have done that.
yeah, and Matt, right now, I know people are going to be going blah blah, fucking whatever, audience message product, what a boring blah blah blah. Okay, let's answer this. But you sell the best CBD in the world. Okay, cool. Go out there, sell the best CBD in the world. People, when they see that product, if they get to see it, are going to go, "Why is it a benefit to me? It might be the best in the world, but why does it benefit me?" So guess what? They thought about themselves first. Therefore, they're the audience. Why should they give a fuck about your brand? It's not unique if you say it's premium. It's not unique because you seed the soil and you grow it yourself. They don't give a shit. Why
Yeah.
does it
Or if
benefit
it's
them?
CO2 extracted,
Yeah, who
pharmacist
cares?
formulated, they
No one
don't
cares.
care. Yeah.
Why does it benefit them? Why does it benefit them? That's all they're thinking. Why does it benefit me? If I'm suffering from back pain and I'm a rugby player or American football player, and you are a brand that's got products that support American football players with jacked up backs, suddenly you've got my attention because that's me. That's what I give a shit about. That's the reason why I buy certain watches, certain cars, certain trainers, certain tops, because they make me look good, right? And supplements make me feel a certain way if they're targeted to me. So that's how the world works. If you try and sell just a supplement product, which is CBD or a pre-workout or a turmeric product or ashwagandha, whatever it may be, you're competing with every other fucker in the world that's selling the same shit. When you flip it to, I'm now taking this product to this audience, let's say it's a CBD that you're targeting towards women with period cramps, suddenly you just niche down and you've got the attention pretty much half the world that has period cramps, right? So therefore now you're no longer competing. Sorry, mate, go on.
Yeah, like Flow Vitamins, a brand that I saw recently, FLO Vitamins. You go to their website and all you see, it says periods suck. So you know who that's for. It's for women who are on their periods and they need the vitamins to help whatever issues they're dealing with. And you know within a second of hitting that website what it's there for and who they're solving the problems for. And then, so if you're a guy and you go on that website, this is not for me, but maybe it's for my lady, you know, and I might show it to my lady or whatever. And so you have to have that within 2 seconds of hitting your website. Somebody needs to know who this is for and what the problem is being solved or what problems you're solving. Otherwise, if it's just for everybody and you're just like, we have the best CBD in the world, it just isn't going to work unless you have millions of dollars to market and really shove it down people's throats.
And going back to the advertising thing, Matt, right? You see it all the time. We tell every single person, everyone that comes into our masterminds, everyone that, you know, some of our coaching clients can afford to go into a paid advertising because they're generating a certain amount of revenue per month, as in close to 100K. It means they can use it and test it and get it working. But everyone else goes, we tell everyone you can't do it. And then next question is, so how do I run ads? Like you're not even making $3 grand a month of revenue through your brand, and you want to run ads when you can't get all the other stuff around it. It's like there's no point doing it. There's so much complexity to it, and you haven't got access to an agency that can, you know, have got reps at Facebook or Instagram to allow your ads to get through, etc., etc. You haven't got the money to burn. You haven't got the traffic on your website, which means you can retarget it. Basically, I'm not going to step on Matt's toes and stuff, but the best traffic, you know, the best way to make sales through Facebook advertising is retargeting people that are already aware of your brand or been on your website effectively. Very basic visual of it. If you've got 400 people a month going to your website, you're not going to retarget and then make sales. It's going to cost you too much money. You're going to lose money. So it's pointless. So forget about Facebook ads. You're in a market that is restricted. So it's tough shit. You can't run ads. So what else can you do?
Well, also forget about launching like 20 or 30 SKUs right out of the gate. Like keep it minimal, 1 to 5 SKUs at the most. And we like less is more. People
I'd say 1 to 3. 3, 5 is too many.
1 to 3 SKUs really, because people don't have a big attention span. They don't even know you yet. And then you got 30 SKUs on your site. It's just like way too much to think about, and people will just not shop on your site. Versus guys, if you have 1 to 3 SKUs, versus, you know, if you have 1 to 3 SKUs, you're solving their problem and they hit the site and it's easy for them to check out. That's what you want it to be. And of course, you want to build your audience and then roll out more SKUs. Like if you have, you know, 10,000 people buying from you every month, or even a couple thousand buying every month, then you could add more products that help them solve their problems. And the best thing to do is reach out to your customers and call them and talk to them and find out what problems they're having and what new products they're looking for. And those are the best brands that we work with. They actually call their customers weekly. And so that's another thing. Be in touch with your customers and be obsessed with solving their problems.
So 2 real life examples of why you should have less SKUs. Right. Get Jupiter. They spent close to 2 years with one product, the whole thing, goodbye stress. 2 years of building a massive audience focused on one product, solving stress. Now they've built a customer list up so big, they understand the audience. They've got 4 or 5 SKUs now, solving all the other problems that target audience have. Another example, non-CBD gummies, Golly gummies. If you've never heard of them, go and check them out. They focused on one product, an apple cider vinegar gummy, for about 2 years, same sort of time. One product, targeted their specific audience, knowing those people that buy apple cider vinegar, pour it into a glass, neck it every morning because they're health conscious, tastes like absolute shit. If you say you like vinegar neats, you're a weirdo, right? They did that for a whole about 18 months, I think, to 2 years. And they built such a massive customer base. They understood their target audience and went, okay, what else are they taking today that we could put into a gummy form that we could replace their current supplementation usage? So they went green juices, right? So green powder put into a gummy form. So now someone has got to pour this pond water into this pond powder into water, drink, and it tastes like crap. They've got a gummy. Ashwagandha, immune booster, and there's one other product they've brought out. But they've afforded to be able to do that because they went with one product for 2 years, built up a massive customer base, got Jennifer Lopez as the main ambassador, and their target audience now have other problems that they already take supplementation for. And the brand went, okay, we'll put that in gummy form. They already love our apple cider vinegar gummies. Of course, they're going to love the green powder gummy. Of course, they're going to love the ashwagandha gummy. They're bored of taking pills. That company is like this, a rocket ship. They do that because they focused on one product. Coca-Cola focused on one product for 54 years. Yeah, they're an ancient company, but they focused on one product for 54 years. They've brought out multiple different products that have failed miserably. They kind of worked out they just own what you drink. So they own water companies now and all sorts of Powerade, Gatorade, or whatever it is. So that's how you do it. That's why you need to focus attention.
Yeah, and somebody made a comment here. As you keep saying, 1 to 2 years, they work that product. Most don't want to wait. They want instant gratification in sales without the work.
And that's why you're fucking failing, because you got no patience, because you want to win now. You want to be a multi-millionaire cutting about with designer labels on, showing off to all your powers how rich you are, because you've got no patience to actually build a business. You know when they say about overnight successes take 7 years? Well, what does that tell you? It's going to take you 7 years to get to a position where you might have a business that's successful. It takes time. You just got to be smart. And people so we have so I put a post out today. One of our clients came in with us under 8 weeks. They went from 20 grand to 50 grand a month. They spent no more money on marketing. Well, spent obviously paying us to consult, but it was understanding the audience and understanding what they want. And they literally over doubled their revenue per month consistently now because of just simple changes. Yeah. Most of you got great ideas. You're just doing the shit that doesn't work because you're too focused on trying to generate money with stuff. It's just because you're taking a normal e-commerce mindset into a restricted market. It doesn't work. What makes people try food? What makes people go to restaurants? Reviews, testimonials, seeing people eat the food, people talking about the food. That's what builds brands. That's hype. 4 people taking your pain salve and going, fuck me, my pain's disappeared. There's a mini bit of hype about your product. That instantly creates more sales because people see real people changing. And if you're a business that relies on you just saying how fucking great you are, you're going to fail because no one cares. You need lots of people saying how great you are. So the big difference between them and you, the brands that are successful, is time, but it's also not doing the shit that doesn't work. And you know the shit that doesn't work because you're still doing it and it doesn't work. We can't go through the whole thing on this conversation, what you're doing at work. We've got 2 groups for that. We've got an accelerator, which is $97 a month. And if I was you, I'd jump into the accelerator, pay $97, take all the content and leave it. Matt probably won't like me saying that, but that's the kind of thing I would do, right? It's nothing. It's got over 100 videos in there, education. It's got playbooks. It's got courses and stuff. Just get in there and suck all that information up. Well, we know people in there that have been in there for like over a year. And I'm like, how many videos you watch? Like probably 10. I'm like, do you realize there's 100 plus videos in there? You watch all those videos, absorb all that information, and apply the stuff and action it as fast as possible. You're going to see improvements.
Or you can work with us in our consulting.
Oh yeah, all that.
And of course, that's a little pricier. But like even yesterday, one of our clients has doubled their income because of tweaks they've made to their email marketing, and that's one thing that me and Paul helped them with. And so like just little tweaks sometimes that you're not seeing, we're able to see because you're in the weeds, with your company. And me and Paul come in and we see things that maybe you're not seeing. And so it's really valuable, especially most of the people that I meet that are in CBD, or at least half of them, don't have an internet marketing background. They just, CBD helped their life or helped their mom or whatever. And they're passionate about this cannabinoid or even other cannabinoids like Delta 8 or whatever. And so you got to work with people like me and Paul that have made, like we said yesterday to one of our people we were talking to, we've made every mistake. And so we help people avoid them.
Yeah.
And also we know what works. We work with most of the biggest brands in the industry. And so we know what's working, what's not working, all the way from mom and pops to huge brands. And, you know, one other thing, like you look at a brand like Black Rifle Coffee, they have personality to them. Like most CBD brands have no personality. Like if you go to Black Rifle Coffee's Instagram, they're not showing products on every post. It's people out there doing things, what their brand stands for. They're showing like guys out there shooting or whatever, just outdoorsy stuff and things that fit their brand instead of just posting product and salesy shit. They stand for something. They have a personality. And most CBD brands have zero personality. It's really boring.
Yeah.
So think about like, what do you stand for? What causes can you work with to wrap your brand around a cause? Like one of our clients builds tiny homes for veterans, and so that's a great cause to stand for as a CBD company. So finding something to stand for and then using your personality, and don't be afraid to be funny even or do something different to stand out, because so many brands are just like, buy our shit and we have the best shit ever. We're this formulated, we're this, that, but nobody cares. Like you have to really reach them with a true personality.
Yeah. So guys, there's two things you can do to advance your business right now. If your marketing budget's two grand and lower, just spend a month, that is, just spend $2,000 more on products a month and give them away.
Yeah.
To get reviews, get people using it, to get content, just give it away. That's a marketing budget. Gifting product is a marketing budget. Yeah. So if you've only got $2,000 a month to spend on marketing, do it all on that. I've been saying this for the last 12 months, and I know so many brands that are still not doing it because they're that, why would I give product away? Well, everything else you're doing, your time, it costs money. All the other shit you waste money on costing you money. And over a year, it's probably going to cost you like 10 grand in crap. You're not getting anywhere. Buy a product, get in the hands of people, get them using it, get them recording it, and make pictures and content and video with it, and get testimonials and video testimonials. That will accelerate your brand. Number two, start making videos. The whole world is moving towards video. Instagram soon will be video first. So static pictures and memes and shit like that are going to disappear from the face of the earth. It's all going to be video. So get good at making videos. TikTok is a great place to get massive awareness. No, you don't have to fucking dance and do weird shit. You can educate people, but educate people in a way that your audience love. So like, as Matt said, it's like, find a cause. Well, find a cause that you love and your audience loves. It's always about your audience. So every time you make a decision in your business, you go, would my audience give a fuck about that? Will it make them, trigger them, or make them react to it? If the answer is no, don't post that shit. Don't do it. Always about the audience. But the problem is 95% of you don't have an audience. You think it's everybody who's in pain, everyone who wants CBD. That's not an audience. You have to really niche down.
Yeah, and one size doesn't fit all, people. So yeah, like if you're a luxury brand, maybe you don't have to stand for a cause. Maybe that audience doesn't care as much about giving to causes through a brand or whatever. Maybe they do it on their own or whatever it is. So it's not a one size fits all. That's why we're gonna always say you got to know your audience and what appeals to them.
The audience decides everything. They decide everything. What you do. Because it's not about you. Some brands can be about you, but unless you're a celebrity, that's not going to work, right? You've got to find an audience. Generally, you are an audience yourself. You start the brand. You're a kind of person. You are your audience sometimes. If you are your audience, perfect. You just then market how you want to be marketed to, and you're going to attract the same people as you. It's simple in that case. But not what, as Matt says, one size does not fit all. However, it always boils back to audience. A bit like Simon Sinek, he's like, is what and why. Most people try and sell the what when he says you've got to sell the why. And when you sell the why, people fall in love.
Got to sell the sizzle, not the steak.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to sell the why, not the what. Anyone can get CBD from anywhere, but it's not about that. Even Stuart from Supology, no different, right? He sells products that have got CBD in them, but ultimately he's a performance brand for athletes. Therefore, he solves their problems. He makes them recover faster. He connects with athletes. Athletes talk to athletes. They all start sharing the same product. Suddenly build a hype around the fact that athletes need these products because they recover faster. They can fight better. He's got UFC fighters. He's got I was about to say something I couldn't say there because I know shit that no one else knows. But anyway, he's got UFC fighters and he's got other professional sports people in other areas. CrossFit's one of them. I can't really say about the other stuff because it's coming soon. But how he did that? He hasn't got a ton of money. He just used network connections, talking, being personable to people. You know, there's so many things you can do if you just take your head out of I'm a CBD brand and you go, actually, no, I'm not a CBD brand. I'm a brand that helps women with period cramps. I'm a brand that helps veterans with PTSD, wherever it may be. You know, I'm a brand that helps these kind of people with these kind of problems do this. And then you suddenly will open up a whole new marketing world. If you're targeting mums like with stress and anxiety, okay, where's the next trade show or expo I'm going to go to? No, it's not going to be a CBD trade show. It's going to be a mum's trade show or an expo. That's where you're going to go to, a baby expo, because that's where your target audience are. What podcast will I try and get onto? Oh, I want to get onto mum's podcasts or mother's podcasts or groups where mums are in, because that's where my target audience are, not people looking for CBD. You know, it just think differently. Yes, I get over passionate about this because that's the shit that's going to change your business. I buzz off when someone changes their audience focus and they start making more sales. I'm like, bingo, see, not difficult.
Yeah, we see it all the time with clients of ours. Like they focus in on an audience and then they hit us up like a month later, like, oh my God, I got all these influencers now, because your marketing will actually work better if you're dialed into an audience. If you try to be a general CBD brand and then you go out for influencers, how are you going to find the right influencers? You don't even have it's not dialed in. So you're going to be all over the map. It's not going to appeal to anybody, unless if you have millions of dollars, then yeah, great. Then spend millions of dollars like CBDMD or Medterra and make it happen. But if you don't, then you got to niche it down, in my opinion, or at least solve a problem like how Jupiter did brilliantly with stress. Like focus on one problem or one audience or both, or, you know, maybe a couple problems that you're solving. And you just have to do it with personality and have fun too. Don't, you know, it's got to be fun. And that's what Paul said, though. Like, you know, I like the idea of making a brand that you believe for yourself, and then like how Paul did with his supplement brand. He had a protein supplement brand. He was working out in the gym. He made the brand. He was the audience for his brand. And those brands can do really well. Like even when I was in the music business, I worked with a lot of rappers and singers. And the best songwriters, the ones that were the most successful, they said, I write the songs for me and I hope the audience likes it. Like they didn't write the songs for the audience. Those were the flash in the pans. Yeah, you might have one hit, but you're not going to have longevity. You got to do something that's making you light up, your soul light up, and then hopefully the world likes that too. That's not one size fits all, but that's a good way of doing it if you feel passionate like that.
And I want to knock over that pushback you get. Well, if I niche down, I'm going to lose sales. Well, you're not making sales now, so what what else is going to different, right? The only right now is the reason you're not making sales is because you're not too niched. So niche down and you'll make more sales in general. Yes, again, not one size fits all, but that's generally the reason. In this space, why over 2,500 brands I've observed, the reasons why they don't make sales is they're not niche down, right? So that's a failure point right there. So then when they build the site out, it communicates to nobody and it generally looks shitty, right? So therefore, even if you did attract someone through a bit of marketing, they come to your website, they're bouncing because they know you're a startup brand or you don't really care, because people are so used to quality looking brands now, quality looking websites, and you can have them created. It's just you focus your focus on this on the start is to get the product out there because everyone's going to love it, but you don't focus on how it looks, who it communicates to, how it connects, and then how that website, which is the place where you take money, right? So look, why do affiliates and influencers and retail stores not work with you? Because they go look at your social media and it's dead and crappy. They go to your website and it looks crap. They're like, well, I'm not going to sell this in my store because, well, ultimately, it's not going to sell because no one cares about it.
The labels look like crap. The brand, like that's why, like that's the first thing people should. Well, after you get the foundational aspects down of who is your audience going to be in the message, then you go into the actual visual branding aspects. And if your website doesn't look like Feels or HelloNet or Seed.com, and the branding, the labeling, and the product doesn't look like at that level, then you got to be at that level, people. You just have to. You got to look like a multi-million-dollar brand, even if you have $20,000 to your budget. Like that's important. Like because then when you go out to the world, they're just going to assume, man, this company looks huge. Like they look badass. Like if you look like it was made in the kitchen, nobody's going to want to work with you. It's going to be, unless you're doing like farmers markets and things like that, you could have a more down home looking brand and it'll be fine. But if you want to sell nationwide, you got to look the part.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, so that's about all we got for today, unless you got anything else to add, Paul.
No, I think we've been quite quite punchy about statement. But guys, it's so important. I know I get animated about it, but the only way you're going to be successful in this market is when you start focusing on target audience. And what you'll realize by doing that is that all your products don't need to be CBD. Your products need to solve a problem for your target audience. And that may be CBD, may not be CBD. And then when you have non-CBD products, you open up your market a little bit more. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. It wasn't very animated today. I didn't do one last week because I was busy. We didn't do this last week, sorry, I should say, because we were busy and my family over, which was chaotic. But yeah, just please go and focus on audience. Search the group, CBD Success, CBD Brand Success, my group. Go in there and find this AMP method. Go and study it. If that's not enough information for you, please just go and jump into the accelerator and go and absorb all that information in there. Courses, spreadsheets, videos. There's so much in there to go and absorb that and get on top of all that, implement it all and see the changes. Then as you start growing, come over and consult with us, and then as you grow even more, you can go and run ads, but you won't run them, an agency will run them for you. And then you explode your business. But you've got to start the foundational part first. Don't try and be on step 10 when you haven't done step 1. Because right now, if you haven't got a target audience, you haven't got sales, it's because no one gives a shit about your business. And that's because you haven't got a target audience.
Yeah, and we're going to keep hammering that pretty much every time we jump on people until everybody gets it. And so we'll see you next time. And check out cbdbusinessaccelerator.com and hit us up if you need anything. If you want to talk to me about our consulting, just send me a message and we can set up a Zoom call. All right, people, we will see you in a couple weeks. Bye, everybody.
All right, catch you there, guys.